Out are the lights, out all, and over each quivering form, the curtain, a funeral pall, comes down with the rush of a storm. All the angels, all pallid and wan, uprising, unveiling, affirm that the play is a tragedy man, and its hero, the conqueror worm. Welcome to another episode of the Creature Podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm Lindsay.
And as you could probably guess from our intro, Wormuary has begun. It's the most wonderful time of the year with our annual celebration of worms in cinema. All month long, we'll be bringing you 3 episodes showcasing worms.
Worms.
You get it. There's going to be worms.
Worms. Or worm-adjacent creatures.
We're going to have to start getting adjacent to them. To kick it all off, we're talking about 2006's Slither, written and directed by James Gunn in his directorial debut. The man who started in Tromaville and with trashy things like PG porn and reality shows picking the next Scream Queen, and has landed him as the head of the DC cinematic universe in which Superman declares kindness is the new punk rock. What a journey.
Right.
This little swing at a horror comedy sits somewhere right between those 2 points. Lindsay, do you want to tell me about us, all of us, about Slither?
I can do that. So the movie starts out in outer space, and a meteor is hurtling towards Earth. And then we see a couple of bored cops sitting in front of a welcome to Wheelsley.
Wheelsy. The names, every name in this fucking movie is overly complicated. So this town is called Wheelsy. Mm-hmm. It's a 1950s kind of like...
Yeah, it's like think Back to the Future, 1955, exactly. That big bullet, like this neighborhood of the future
and
kind of
thing.
And
there's a 57 Chevy with a smiling family that says the wheels of the future, and none of that matters.
No, I'm like, I thought we were going to have a
Because we're going to a very different type of town.
We are, yeah. So anyway, one of the cops has a hat over his head and he's trying to sleep. And the other one is using a radar gun to measure bird speed.
Right. So the older cop trying to do, the radar of the birds is Wally. And the sleeping cop is Bill. He's played by Nathan Fillion. He'll be one of the main characters in this. He's a very frequent collaborator of James Gunn.
Yep.
And the hilarious thing about this is you think... Wally's up there checking the radar of the birds. He's going to clock the radar of this meteorite.
He is.
But no, it just falls right behind them.
Nope.
And they don't even notice it.
Yep. So the cop with the hat on, which is Bill, he takes his hat off, and in the distance behind them, as they're having the conversation, we see the meteor hit the ground, and nobody notices. Yeah. So it doesn't even clock for them. We, the audience, then follow the meteor through the woods to get there. And then
it's frustrating.
It cracks open like an egg.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, we're doing Worms from Space again?
Yeah, Worms from Space
Dude,
again.
Don't worry. Everything about not everything, but the core of this movie is cribbed from Night of the Creeps.
It is.
Point by point by point.
Yeah,
by
I was
point.
like, I just realized that we started back in time,
Yeah.
right?
No, we're in our current time.
We're in our current time, but it looks like 1950s.
Well, the
sign
sign that advertises
like,
the town has a old aesthetic.
Yeah.
However, it is cops on the side of the road. Like, a lot of it evokes Night of the Creeps. We've got worms that are going to get in brains, that are going to make zombies.
They look like
They
the
come
creeps.
from space.
They look like the creeps.
This movie's fucking stolen.
It is 100% stolen.
And don't worry, on the way there, though, it won't be very entertaining.
All right.
This movie's...
Everyone stay tuned.
No, this movie's rated R. Was Night of the Creeps was not rated R,
No.
was it? No, I didn't think so. So this one has...
I'm not sure if it's... I don't know if that even...
This has a lot more gore. This has a lot more sex. This has a lot more
the
everything
gore's
in it.
cool.
Is
The
there a
story's-
JC?
No, there's not a JC. JC
Oh,
from
there's
Night
no
of the Creeps.
Does it have a cool tagline?
We have a cleft palate.
What did the cop always say in Night of the Creeps?
Thrill me.
Thrill me.
No.
No, we don't get that either.
There's nothing as clever as that. There's like,
I love
she's
Thrill Me.
hardcore. So, speaking of bad cribbing, as we go through the woods to the meteorite, it's a bad knockoff of a Danny Elfman score and really bad knockoff of Sam Raimi's Evil Dead Through the
Yep,
Woods.
it did that, yeah.
It lands on this egg that has opened up.
It's glowing red inside.
Space rock egg.
And then title card.
Title card.
Okay.
Slither. There we go.
And then we're in town, and there's some sign about deer cheer.
Yeah, the sign is... Hinnon Loter's Saddle Lodge presents Deer Cheer. Fucking calm down.
And then it says something about the kickoff night or
It's
something.
Friday. It's
yeah,
this upcoming
Friday
Friday.
kickoff night, yeah. And it seems like a really sad downtown. Like,
Boy.
with a bunch of aging... Like,
It's-
it sounds like the town is really dying, but it's full of, like, hunters that are, like, really rough.
It's an
like,
insane crossover of a, like, falling apart old downtown filled with people who are all drunk. There's a crowd milling around, all drunk, smoking, or disabled.
Yeah.
They're in jazzy chairs. They're sitting there drinking tall boys with cleft palates that have not been, you know, and they're all just kind of like elbowing each other. It's this weird city vibe in an old American
town.
Main Street small town. Yeah.
So then we meet a man in a suit with a gold watch in his car trying to, like, the movie's showing he's smarmy and he's, like, awful. He drives up and he starts yelling at people to get out of his way. And then it turns out some lady across the street yells at him and, like, he's Mr. Mayor.
Well,
he's our mayor.
So this is Jack McCready, which McCready's
know.
the last name of Kurt Russell and The Thing. This is played by Greg Henry, also a frequent collaborator in almost all of James Gunn's movies. Yeah, he's screaming at someone. He's clearly, like, has aggression issues. He starts screaming at somebody for being a cocksucker because he won't get out of his way. And he has done this right in front of a mother and a little girl.
Yeah.
And he's just
she's like, hi, Mr. Mayor.
and he doesn't really care. He says, win some, lose some, and drives off.
So now we flash to a classroom where Elizabeth Banks, who is playing the character Starla, is a teacher, and she's teaching survival of the fittest to her kids. And the boys are all ogling her. She's supposed to be a sex...
She's not, though. She's very covered
Sex
up,
pot.
very professionally dressed. There's nothing...
They keep focusing on her ass the entire time.
The whole movie.
The whole movie.
This is ostensibly her movie, her character movie. She has no arc.
No.
She doesn't change at all.
No, she has no
She's a victim
arc.
from beginning to
She
end.
is, absolutely.
Well, I will say if there's anything to be read into in this movie, it's the fact that you've just said that she's professionally dressed and she's covered up and people are still treating her like an object. And it doesn't sound like she's going to have much of her own
and
free will in this movie in there.
No.
But when you watch a movie, you want a character like this to break out of it
like, do
somehow.
something.
She, of course, though, is doing that trope that I love, that a high school class is teaching the very thing that is going to be played out in nature in front of you. In this case, the survival is fittest doesn't necessarily mean they're the strongest. They're just more fit to figure out how to survive.
Yeah, exactly. And she does talk about that in the lesson. Okay, so now after school, we're outside, and Starla's talking to another teacher, and then Michael Rooker.
That teacher is James Gunn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's a teacher there he's being professional. He's trying to be like, hey, maybe we have a connection. I'm professionally talking about you. And then Michael Rooker.
He shows up. He's Grant, and he's her husband, and he comes to pick her up, and he kind of is like, oh, this is my possession, and she seems naive about the entire situation.
Yeah. Oh, that look
Does
about
he
how this is
say
is his possession. Get
He
used
does
to
say
that.
it.
That's the movie.
Yeah.
This man is named Grant because that's funny for some reason. Why the fuck would you name your kid Grant if your last name is Grant?
I thought it was funny.
I guess it worked. I guess that's why. This is played by Michael Rooker. Obviously, one of the most frequent collaborators with James Gunn. I think Michael Rooker has never not done a James Gunn thing.
Probably not.
Yondo to Suicide, like all of it. I don't think he's never not been in one of his movies. He is Michael Rooker. He's thick, bald, weird looking. When I watched this last night, again for the first time in a long time, I'm like, oh, he looks young here.
He is young
every
here.
time I remember it, he's whatever Michael Rooker's age is how he is in all of his past movies.
Because I was just going to say, I was like, he's older than Elizabeth Banks.
Well,
a lot.
That's what the story is.
The story is that,
Is he wealthy?
Yes.
That's
I was
so. Okay,
it's the next scene.
Next scene. Okay, so we're across the street with a crossing guard, and the cops are there as well.
So the crossing guards are also cops. In this small town.
Yeah.
And Bill, Nathan Fillion's cop,
he's out
doesn't
of
seem
uniform.
to be on duty.
He's not on duty, but he's out of uniform. But he's hanging out with the other cops that are doing the crossing.
They're
guard.
watching Starla get into Grant's truck, and one of them goes, "That's a couple I never understood."
Right, and well, this is how we learn from Bill that when they were kids, they've known each other their whole lives, and Bill is very much infatuated with.
That's not
Starla.
evident yet, but that's where we're going.
You could get this vibe, okay? But he says how, like, Starla grew up really, really poor, and he came around, and he offered to take care of her and put her through college, tuition, all that kind of stuff.
Can I just underline a little bit? She was raised poor. And, okay, so Bill, liking Starla quite a bit from the past, is also advocating for their relationship here. He's not poo-pooing it.
No, he's not.
He's saying, when Starla was 17, Grant came around. he had money. Who could blame Starla?
Yeah.
Because she wanted to get out.
Yeah.
And that is how simple grooming can be sometimes. It's just convenience. It's easy. It happens more than we think. And he tells the lady crossing guard, which her name's Margaret, I think we'll get there later, that she would have done the same thing if Grant was a woman.
Right.
It isn't put as nicely as that because it is implied that Margaret is lesbian and that you shouldn't cast stones because if you were a 17-year-old wanting to get out, this person with money maybe would have swayed you.
Right.
Which, again, the subtext of that is that everyone is blaming the girl who was quite clearly groomed by an older man who had money, who came around when she was 17 and was like, I'll pay for you to go to college.
Right.
And you're like...
I don't know. There's so much of this movie that I'm trying to check with are these jokes? Is this funny? Are they making fun of these people? Are we supposed to
in the
like
era
these
that we're
people?
talking about 20 years ago?
Sure.
All of the above. They are jokes. They are serious. We are still supposed to like these people.
Are we making fun of these townies, or are we being empathetic towards this happens in towns like these, and sometimes it works out?
It doesn't just happen in towns like these. It happens everywhere.
But you get where I'm saying.
No, absolutely. I do understand what you're saying.
I don't think James Gunn is being nice at this point.
No, James Gunn is not being nice.
And we'll talk about James Gunn's arc a little later.
But unfortunately, like, this is the edge of tact just in 20 years ago, which means it's further away from what it is now.
Sure.
Yeah.
The more I watch movies specifically in this era, the more I watch them, I'm like, I don't know how I'm supposed to
No, I get that.
A
Yeah.
lot of that is looking back now and being like, wow, all this stuff that we just took as like, that's how things are. That's what's funny.
Yeah.
That's what you write about. Of course everyone would blame the girl. How could she have just gotten with this guy for his cash? Duh.
Let me also, I wasn't going to do this, but now I'm going to get specific about how our quote-unquote hero, Bill, says to Margaret, you would have done the same thing if he had a gina. And there's a little kid there. And because they're crosswalking, and the kid looks up and goes, what's a gina? He goes, it's a country. It's where Chinese people come from. And then he puts a boot on him and goes, learn to eavesdrop better. And that was funny to me.
Yeah.
But that little journey to learn to eavesdrop better was kind of a rough road.
Yeah.
And that happens again and again in this movie where it gets to something that makes me chuckle. And then I'm like, boy, we were homophobic and xenophobic on the way.
Oh.
That happens a lot.
Sure. Well, I mean, like, okay. It's horrible, though, that we as audiences would blame the woman for this kind of interaction because women have historically needed to find protection, especially if they have no parents. They needed somebody else because they had no agency. You couldn't even have a bank account until 1970. You couldn't have your own money.
Specifically and implicitly said that one of her parents was dead and the other one was an alcoholic.
Right.
And I would argue a little bit that we're not blaming the woman at all. The woman's nothing in this.
Yeah.
This whole thing is, she's cringy.
She's a catalyst for everything. But she is not her own character.
Let's keep going. Because we'll have plenty of examples.
Sure, okay. So later that night, Grant tries to initiate sex with Starla, but she's not in the mood, and he gets really upset. Yeah. And he's like, you're never in the mood. And then he leaves. So he goes to a nearby bar where they're having a karaoke night.
Hang on. It's a hard cut to a terrified woman clutching a microphone singing the crying game. And it's so funny. It's one of those things where she's just like, and it's to an empty bar.
Yeah, no, it's like, there's like two people there. Anyways, so some woman in the background who comes up to Grant. And she seems to have a massive crush on him when she was 10 years old.
Right. And
he dated her older sister, and she's always had a crush on him.
So this character is Brenda. Mm-hmm. She's always had a crush on him, and
they go on a walk into the woods so that she could prove to him that she's always had a crush on him.
And they are trashed at this point.
They are. They're like falling over drunk, and she brings him to a tree where she had written her initials and his initials into a carved heart when she was a child.
Right.
Ugh.
And Grant, is still an asshole to her because her initials are BM, so he thinks it's funny that it's like bowel movement and whatever. And she's like, no, stop. And they start to make out.
Yeah. And then Grant stops it, saying that Starla's going to worry about him when he comes home too late. So, like, he kind of, like, led her on, and then whatever.
He went out there, he made out with her, and then he was like, I'm not going to stop because this is wrong. I'm stopping because Starla gets mad when I'm out too late.
Yeah. Okay, but then they notice the meteor. It's grown a slimy, webby carcass around
inside.
Itself. Yeah.
And there's a trail leading off of it.
And then there's a slime trail leading away from the meteor. And they start to follow it. And we see some sort of creature now is in like a mucus sac.
It's a mucus sac.
And then he has like lips on top. And the lips open up. So like you have like this vagina lips.
It's a vagina like the subtext in here is little. There's a sexual assault later in this thing that's supposedly not. I'm like, guys.
It is.
This
100%,
is a fucking rape scene.
It was.
Sucks.
It was bad. But then, like, the vagina lips open, and this tiny little needle stick pops out.
Which is interesting later. There's a
I know.
It's a little quivering needle.
It's a
I
little
just
needle.
want to set this in here so that we'll do it later. Can we watch Teeth sometime?
Oh yeah,
sure.
Vaginal Ventata. All day. I watch it. It's.
Add it to the
I'm
list.
afraid she's going to be bored because it's such a drama.
Have you never seen Teeth?
I've never seen Teeth.
I saw it in a theater.
Oh my god.
With other humans.
That could be. Okay. Jamie leads the podcast for Teeth.
Anyway,
it's possible.
So sorry. The vagina lips open.
Oh, they open up and a tiny needle little thing comes out, and then it flies into Grant's chest. It just embeds itself. So like he's seizing on the ground, and then the film turns into X-ray vision.
It doesn't need to do this.
It did not need to do this.
Bad CGI of Grant curled up in X-ray, and you can watch inside of his body this thing go up his abdomen and
embed itself in
the base of his
brain. Yeah. So then Brenda's trying to rouse him, and then he wakes up and he startles her because he like comes to like really suddenly.
He's clearly possessed,
and he's clearly not himself, and he's got like a bloody nose and bloody eyes, and then he just gets up and walks away. Mm-hmm. And then we see him driving home, and he like can't drive the car very well. He's driving in the grass and stuff. But then he walks into the house, and he goes to the fridge first thing and starts just pulling out pounds and pounds of raw meat.
He just says
and
meat.
who the fuck has like
we're doing
9
the Men in
pounds?
Black?
Yes, we are doing Men in Black.
Men in Black
babe,
now?
This town is a hunting town.
I know.
It's all about meat.
I know.
Sorry, Jamie. There's so many dead pets in this. Don't worry. They don't show anything graphic.
They do.
They show it all, but it's all very cartoonish. So many dead animals. And he goes meat, and yes, the people in this town might have stacks of meat.
Okay, well,
he has a ridiculous amount. I agree.
He gets a bunch of meat out of the fridge, and he says meat, and then it flashes to the next morning. We see Starla. She wakes up alone, but she goes to the window and she sees that Grant is home. And then we flash to Grant is in the basement, and he's building a nest out of old leaves.
He's literally like rolling around on his back in piles of leaves that he's brought down.
Yeah, he's making a nest. Then Starla has now she's in the living room, and she's put on a love song, and she's put on a negligee, and she's apologizing to Grant for last night. And she seduces her husband into sex on the couch.
Yes. Like, I hate, Every Woman in the World by Air Supply is what's playing.
It's a bad song.
It's the worst song in the world.
It's the worst song.
So while this is a song you love, baby, and she shows her shoulder, it's the opposite of sexy. It is so like, it's just like a woman just a person who doesn't know how.
She's a child when he
That's
groomed
what I'm
her.
saying. No, I'm not trying to say be sexy. How to be sexy to this gross individual, and is having to almost like, she's like a reverse alien here, going like, you like this song, do you like skin?
And yet that might be what he wanted, because he groomed her, so obviously he's going to groom her into doing what he wants.
I'm happy with being icked out by this. I'm happy with not understanding this.
It just seems like such a disconnect, but whatever. Later at school that morning,
there's one little thing here that's just interesting for the movie. One of the few things. Okay. Grant, in his possessed state, clocks who she is because he sees their wedding photo on the wall. Mm-hmm. And then he gets close to her, and she's like, I'm trying to do this for you. And he involuntarily starts to cry.
Yeah.
It's not emotion. And then she takes it to be like, oh, I am connecting with you. And so she's happy to make love with him because he's showing something that this movie keeps doing. Like, what is part of Grant's brain that the alien is accessing that... I know I'm thinking deeper about this movie than I need to, but it's like his inhumanity and his alien shit keep crossing in this movie to become the monster he is.
Okay.
So Starla, after sex, is at school and
she's at school, and she's telling her coworker about her morning sex with her husband and how amazing it was, and he was like discovering new parts of her body, and he's gone through a real change. She thinks like this. She like thinks that the sexual encounter now means a real change in their future relationship,
and it's because this alien thing is paying more attention to her body than her husband ever did.
Yes. So now Grant is at the grocery store and he's buying a truck full of meat.
Literally a truck bed full of meat.
Yeah, tons of meat. That's all that whole scene is.
Yeah. See, you wrote about it. I think we could skip through a bunch of this stuff.
I did. At home, but no, you gotta know, like, he's really into meat. Okay, at home.
He's really into meat.
He has put a lock on the door to the basement, and he uses some excuse about her birthday to blow her off.
Yeah, once again, gaslighting her. Like, this is obviously something Grant would do normally. It's like, why would you ask about this? You know, telling her you're not allowed access to your own home.
Yeah, so, like, she leaves the room, and his body starts to attack him. Like, and I think it's, like, hunger. His belly's, like...
Yeah. It's like cramps.
It's like cramps, yeah. For me. So he goes outside, and the neighbor's dog is barking at him.
Oh, no.
And the movie leads us to believe that he did something horrible to the dog.
Yeah, he looks at the dog, and then it hits black, and you hear a yelp.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. So then we see Grant getting ready for dinner with Starla. They're both getting ready to go out.
But Grant's getting super splotchy.
He is. He's covered in red welts. And then Starla has gotten into the shower, and Grant's stomach is doing that cramping thing again. So then Grant starts to creep up on Starla in the shower. And then you see these worm tentacle things with, like, needle points come out of his belly. Yeah. And, like, kind of, like, go towards the glass of the shower. And
they pop it out, and they have they're like
They look like hot dogs. They're like amorphous hot dogs.
They're tentacly hot dogs, wet and long, ending with hollow fangs, which is important.
Hollow fangs, yes.
Yeah, a hollow
vampire fangs.
Yeah.
But he seems to be overcome with his love for her.
Exactly.
And he turns around and he hides them when she notices him.
So there's something I kind of fucking hate this movie. I thought I was going to wait a little longer to get this, but in the telling, I kind of fucking hate this thing because it keeps convincing me that there's love in Grant that is saving Starla at times, and maybe that's true, but whatever that love in Grant is as a human isn't enough to be anyone that's likable or okay.
I feel like the alien, because it is a asexual being who just reproduces. What did they call it? This is not yet, but they call it a virus.
Yeah, it's a sentient disease.
Disease, yes. So basically, like, it's never had sex before.
Right.
And a human connection, okay, that you get from that physicalness. And it suddenly had that with her. You know, because it let it happen.
That's interesting. I forgot that they actually
fucked. And so now
fucked.
he has an obsession with the different type of feeling he's never had before, because human sex is still different than animal sex.
I love this. So what you're telling me is that because it had sex, it doesn't want to kill her this way because of the perhaps opportunity to have sex again.
Correct. But it also has residual feelings from Grant, whatever they are. And he's mixing it all up, just like a teenager who can't tell the difference between sex and love and connection.
My thing is, at no time does this movie convince me to give a flying fuck about Grant being a good person.
No, Grant is not a good person.
Grant is a piece of shit up and down. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so he hides the appendages, and then he runs off, and she's upset because he promised to take her to Deer Cheer.
So this is the premiere of Deer Cheer tonight. That's what they're getting ready for.
Yeah.
He makes an excuse that he left something at work.
He has to go back to work,
And he's like, I'll meet you there. Yeah.
Right. So at Deer Cheer, Starla is there with her friends, and then we see Bill is there, and he's across the room, and he's longing for Starla.
Sure.
And his cup partner makes fun of him.
It's like, I'm surprised you could hold that beer with that constant torch you're holding for her.
So then Grant goes to Brenda's house.
Yeah, this scene sucks.
So unfortunately,
there's a couple things in this that I realize are worse and they cut out of the movie.
So unfortunately, this movie keeps jumping constantly.
There's a lot of jumping.
There's a lot of jumping. So Grant has now gone to Brenda's house. When she opens the door, we find out she has a baby.
She has a baby.
And her husband is not at home. He's gone for the weekend.
And Grant calls him, is the half Mexican around?
Oh,
and I'm like, why are we doing this?
Yeah. He didn't even have to be. Because they want him to be an asshole.
But
they want us not to have
more.
Any. I know.
Was that supposed to be, like, I don't know what's funny and what's not in
I
this.
don't know either. I honestly.
Because this is an ongoing thing. We've got.
I feel like 20 years ago, it would have been something just to, like, pepper, like, more that he was a horrible person, but we would not have clocked it as.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And I think this is so every actor in this that is doing, everyone in this is doing a
Southern accent.
A
hick accent.
Like a hick accent.
Yeah.
It's yokel coded is what I wrote in my notes.
Yokel coded. I love
it's
that.
It's a really yokel coded. Nathan Fillion doesn't speak like this. Everyone's like,
neither does Elizabeth Banks.
Hey, y'all.
Everybody's speaking like that.
So it's also, I think, James Gunn has written in the racism into the script that all of these small townies are ignorant hicks. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, that's not great either.
No, it's not. No.
So it's like, what level do I not like? I have multiple levels to not like this on.
Yeah.
I don't know where to land.
So Grant goes into Brenda's house.
Yeah.
And then flashback to Deer Chair. Bill has gone to talk to Starla, who's outside, and she's looking off into the distance, which looks like the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah, they have a little meet cute out there.
Yeah, and
Not
she
meet
congratulates him for his new job, his promotion to chief of police.
You could tell they both like each other.
They've known each other their whole lives.
Yes.
And you can tell there's some history. So then they go back inside to hear the speech by the mayor.
About to make
and oh my God, that speech.
It's
He's
literally
horrible.
I honestly, he just did biblical shit and said that means we get to kill animals, right?
Yeah, right, basically. Okay. Meanwhile, back with Brenda and Grant, they're undressing, and then he opens his shirt, and we see this writhing wound on his torso that then the wormy appendages come out of. So, like, he has this, it's so gross.
It looks pretty good. Guys, the one thing I will say accolades about is I love
CGI,
the gore
yeah.
and the special effects in this.
So Brenda is disgusted by the wormy things that have come out of his chest, and then Grant holds her down while the appendages burrow into her stomach and pump something in. Yeah, into her stomach. So you can
see out of one comes like eggs. Yeah. Like something's going into her.
And then like a sperm out of the other or
and
something.
It is, there's a 1-year-old baby in a crib next to
Yeah, and you can't tell I can't tell if she's in pain or if she's orgasming. I can't tell anything.
It's very rape coded.
It is very rape coded. Because she's screaming and fighting.
Undulating
until,
and whatever.
Until they're in her, yeah.
Yeah, and he rolls over and now they're both on the couch, shoulder to shoulder, as they're still going through, still connected. And he's like in a refractory state.
Sure.
And she's still just like...
She's like...
It's fine if this is what you came for. You got it. It's body horror for sure.
It is definitely body horror.
It's just like very vulnerable and like, I don't know. You could do this a little less salaciously. Someone shouldn't be able to jerk off to this. And if you did, folks... Go get therapy.
Yeah. So then we flash back to Bill and Starla, and they're dancing at the Deer Cheer. And then Starla has gone home. Like I said, the movie jumps a lot. So Starla's returned home, and she's trying to find her husband. And she wants to know why he didn't answer his phone. She's like talking to the space. But then he shows up, and he looks awful. He's now got boils all over his face.
The side
and
of
his side of his skull is swelling. Yeah. And he is like covered in skin lesions on top of the boils. And he says it was just a bee sting. Mm-hmm. Is what he tells her. And he already saw the doctor.
So don't freak out.
And he has the prescription, so don't freak out. But the next morning, Starla is super worried, and so she calls the doctor. And she's like, I think it's gotten worse. And the doctor's like, I haven't seen your husband in over a year. So now she knows her husband's lying to her. So now Grant is in his basement. Again, we're jumping. And the worst thing I have to say about this movie is how much we just jump. Anyways, Grant...
he's in his basement, and he's loading up bags of meat.
So all the meat he bought, he had like... tossed around on the floor around his leaf nest. Like he was nesting in leaves and meat. And now he's picking up all his meat. And it's like open, rotting
By the
meat.
way, another thing, I love how disgusting everything gets going forward. There's so many movies where I'm like, God, I don't even think about it because they don't approach it. But in this one, they're like, this smells bad.
Oh,
There's
God,
flies.
yes. No, yes.
There's flies everywhere.
No, they make sure that they tell us, So anyways, he bags up all his meat. Now we flash to Starla. She's driving, and she sees a bulletin board, like a
filled
neighborhood.
With missing dog signs.
Missing dogs everywhere. Lost dog posters.
Which I'm like, when did Grant have all the time to kill all these fucking animals?
I know.
Because at first I thought it was just focused on the one animal. Amongst others, only one was Grant. Later on, you realize Grant has killed like all the life
everything he can
in
find
this county.
Yeah. Okay. So then we're back with Grant, and he is taking all his meat in his trash bags to a barn that's in the woods.
Yep.
Okay. And inside, he has locked up Brenda. Like she is like chained. And she is so hungry, she thought she's going to die.
Yeah.
But Grant has brought her the 2 trash bags. And he just starts pulling out meat, and she picks up the raw meat and starts eating it. Yeah. She can't help herself because she is starving. Now we're with Bill and his partner Wally, and they show up at Starla's house looking for Grant.
Yeah.
They're looking for Brenda Gutierrez. Someone saw him in her house, but she's been missing since Friday night.
He's a person of interest. And of course, Starla's like... It's got to be someone who looks like Grant because what are you talking about?
Grant would never do that. Yeah.
Everyone knows us. This isn't a thing.
But they leave, and Starla's like... Instantly grabs a bat and starts attacking that lock that's on that basement door. So she opens the door, and as soon as she opens the door, the smell just whacks out.
See the flies.
And I'm like, I would have fucking smelled it before I opened the damn door. But anyways, so the flies start flying out, and she starts going down the stairs, trying not to gag the whole time. And then at the bottom,
she's trying not to full on vomit.
Sorry, yeah. And we get down there, we see like the whole room is like covered in plastic sheeting, so she has to go through it Dexter style.
Yep.
And inside, carcasses of animals are just hung everywhere on the floor. They're just like
hung
covered.
From the ceiling.
Raccoons,
possums, cats, dogs. There's a whole thing of that is even labeled coyotes. I don't know why.
Labeled.
There's a label for some reason that says coyotes next to it.
I didn't know
I don't
that.
know why that's there.
It's so weird. So it's just covered in rotting animal carcasses. She runs upstairs to call Bill, but he doesn't answer. Like, does like a voicemail. Yeah. But then Grant is standing on the other side of the window watching her make the call, and he makes this growly noise.
It's the closest to a good scare that I think we get.
It was. And so Starla notices him, and he growls, he yells some more, and the boils and lumps are even worse on his head. Like, he's just like devolving into a monster. Starla runs, but Grant catches her. And he says he wasn't going to hurt her, but now he's too ugly for her. And then he rips open his shirt, and his wormy things get out and start, like, under her shirt. They try to get to her stomach.
She clocks him in the head with a table.
Stool or a table, yeah. But then he comes up behind her and puts her on a chokehold. And as he has her in the chokehold, and she's trying to reach for the phone to call somebody, he's got her in this chokehold.
Well, the phone's ringing back now also.
Oh, yeah, it's true. And his arm starts to undulate like a worm.
You can hear all the bones in his arm break,
yeah.
and then it snakes around her neck. Yeah. It's good.
It is pretty
good.
This
is the beginning of terrifying. Really fun body horror shit in this movie.
It's good. But then we hear Bill yelling for Starla. And
they're out the door now.
Yeah.
They're pounding.
He and 3 other cops come running into the house, and then they pull their weapons when they see what's going on. And then Grant backs away with his wormy tentacle arm. And he yells at them, like, with his growly voice, because he's not making words anymore. And then he runs out. Yeah.
And Bill goes, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah. And then they give chase.
and Wally and Bill, as partners, go out and go back to back in the backyard. Very dramatic music hits as a crane shot goes up, and they realize a monster is now among them out in the woods. And it goes boom 3 days later.
Okay. We're at the police station. The mayor is at the police station, and he is trying to get them to find Grant faster because nobody wants to hunt in a town where there's a pet murderer. Because all they're saying is that he's a pet murderer.
The town council is straight up his ass about this. This mayor sucks ass.
Yeah.
And there's a dial it to 8 where he's funny, and they keep dialing it to 11 where I'm like, you're not funny anymore. No. I just want to shoot you in the head. But at this point, he's still being pretty funny. And he's like, yo, you need to... This is actually one of my favorite scenes in the movie because it's a bunch of...
At least it humanized these people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly. There are these 4 tired cops that have been doing this for 3 days. They've accepted that Grant's out there fucking shit up all over their county. There's so many dead animals going on, and they're like, we're hunting this thing, but it's hard.
Yeah. And so they start making squid jokes.
And they're trying, we haven't seen our families in a while. And this Amity County mayor is screaming that they need to keep the fucking beach open. It's the little reverse Jaws here.
Sure, absolutely. And they're making lots of jokes. There's like stuffed squids. They're making...
Call him a squid man.
Yeah, they're having fun about it, but you know.
So a couple things happen here. Lloyd Kaufman, the co-founder of Troma, is just a sad drunk handcuffed to a chair in this scene.
Is that the scene
Doesn't get a fucking line. I'm sure he had one. Just like I'm sure that Brenda's baby, something bad happened to that baby, they decided not to.
They said she was fine. The baby
I think that was chosen to do later. Because why would you do that?
Because it looked like he wanted to eat that baby.
Yeah. It's meat.
Yeah.
He eats everything else. And then we introduce the dispatcher of the police station.
Shelby.
Her name's Shelby, played by
Jenna
Fisher,
thank you.
Pam from The Office. She's James Gunn's wife at this point.
Right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, they're married at this point.
Yeah. Okay, so we hear over the radio that there's been a report of an animal theft at the edge of town, and so they go after him. They go to the edge of the town. And so when they get there, there's a bunch of murdered dogs and a stolen cow.
Yes, that drug a cow out of the field.
Yeah, and all the dogs are like filleted.
They're filleted. There's a German Shepherd head that's held up.
Yes, they're like, I found this one's head.
Normally, I hate this shit, but it's so stupid and cartoonish that it's kind of funny. It's like I found this one way over here. They're like, put it down.
So the cops then are back at the cop shop, and they're making a plan based on his current pattern. He's going from this farm to this farm to this farm to this. So, like, he's gone in a line. So this is the next farm.
It's like, I think I know where he's going next. In a line? You stupid fucking movie. He's just going in a line.
Right. So then they all decide to, like, do a stakeout, right?
Yeah.
So
they gun up.
Yeah, they all gun up.
They get a posse, which the posse is just a couple extra
hunters,
dudes. They gun up with a bunch of big guns.
And they're standing outside. They're about to drive out to the farm.
Real quick, as they're gunning up, there's one of the younger guys goes, we got this grenade from that time when the boys were trying to go fishing. Do you want to take it? He's like, I don't think we need a grenade. So enter Schrodinger's grenade.
Okay. I missed that part.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're outside, and then Starla suddenly drives up to them as they're moving out, and she says she has to go with them, that she is their only chance to find the missing girl. They have to use her as bait, basically.
If they kill Grant and that girl's still missing...
They're never going to find her.
They're never going to find her. So I'm your best bet of, like, talking to Grant.
Yeah.
And she has a point.
She has a point. So they take her with him. So now they're all at the farm that they think Grant is hitting next, and the cops and the hunters are all hiding, and we meet the family.
We meet a family.
So there's an older teenage girl, two younger girls.
Twins or like close to
yeah, either Irish twins or real twins.
A mom and a dad.
Yeah, and a mom and a dad. Yeah, and they're all the farmers. Yeah.
Let them in. And there's a couple little things here that...
They don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So outside, Bill and Wally and Starla are all in Bill's car. And Bill tells a sweet story about how Starla, when she was like 12 years old, she wanted to run away to Hollywood, and he was 14, and how she knocked on his window, and she wanted him to go with her to be her bodyguard.
Right.
And they were just young, and he declined going with her. And then he's the one who called the cops on her, and her daddy found her at the train station, or bus station.
And then the underlying thing, so you fucked up my chance to go out and be famous. He says that to her, and she's like, yeah, I guess you did. And so the idea of like, you were running away, and I stopped you.
I stopped you from running away.
Which, they're children, whatever, but it's poignant here where it's like she...
And they called him, you were always a cop, is what they told him.
Yeah, you were always a cop because you called the fucking cop. He was a fucking rat.
Yeah.
Narcs, bitch.
Okay, but she was 12, right?
Yeah, she was 12.
And he was 14, but fuck that cop shit. Narc.
So after that little story, they spot the creature. And Grant...
This is good, though.
Yeah, so they see Grant's creature, and he is a 100% worm creature at this point.
So it's coming through a field, so it's
It reminds me of the slug from Freaks.
From Freaks.
The one with the guy from Bill and Ted. Isn't it Freaks? Freak Show, maybe? No.
I'm not sure. Alex Winters. I don't think I've seen Freaks. That's like his directorial debut.
They're all like weird Muppets.
Yeah, they're all characters.
Okay,
yeah, you've never seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it reminds me of the worm creature.
But he's huge now.
Yeah, he's huge.
And the field is obscuring where he all is. So there's tentacles coming up in weird places. Mm-hmm. And they're all like gobsmacked. And the mayor sees him and goes, you said he was a squid. And Billy goes, it got worse.
It got worse. So we see him. Grant uses now his appendage to murder a cow from like really far away, like 15 feet, 20 feet away. And then he drags it off. The cops are all looking at each other like, what are we going to do now? And then Starla is like, I'm going to go follow him.
Yeah, Starla's already out there trying, and she tries to talk to him.
Right. So she's trying to get him to like follow her and stuff. Come back. But he's not having it. And
well, there's a moment here where Starla's like, this is a problem. And he's like, I was afraid. This has happened to me and I'm scared. There's, again, the movie's trying to tell you that there's humanity in there.
Right.
Which I'm not buying.
Right.
At this point, the cops have kind of mostly surrounded Grant. And then one of the posse members gets behind Grant and goes...
Points a gun at him and tells him that he can come in peacefully or can make it hard. And then Grant, like, slices him in half. He just flick!
There's a imperceptible fast flick, and there's a line down this man's face right in the middle. And as he gets confused and like makes his eyes go wherever, the slice in between his skull opens up with his eyes.
It's just like 13 Ghosts all over again.
It's so much better than 13 Ghosts. And then he splits apart and all of his gore falls out the front.
Yeah.
It's good.
It was pretty.
I love it.
Okay, sorry. Pretty is the wrong word. It was better done than 13 Ghosts.
This the right amount of time. You know what good is.
It was better. It was better done.
These effects that keep happening are...
But it's the same thing.
are what make the movie... are the best parts of the movie.
Sure, absolutely. Okay.
So everyone freaks the fuck out. Guns, they start
shooting.
Fire.
Everybody's just open fire shooting. And he slithers away like so crazy fast.
He slithers?
He slithers.
What's the name again? Yeah, but the slithering is so gross looking. It's so fast and he's so big that it goes.
And then the cops just chase him into the woods. So everybody's running. The cops and Starla, everybody's running into the woods. The hunters, everybody. They eventually find the old barn in the woods, and it smells horrible from the outside.
Wally and Bill rock, paper, scissors to go inside
I'm getting there. Okay, so they're outside, and they're barely holding it together.
Like from Tremors.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so then the chief of police puts his ear up to the door to listen, and they hear sobbing.
Oh, I forgot that there was crying from inside.
They're sobbing on the inside. So then rock, paper, scissors, and Bill loses, so he goes in first. So, like, they open the door, and Bill goes inside, and inside they discover Brenda is ginormously round.
I can't
like
express
10 feet in all directions. Her stomach is distended.
I think more than
10 feet.
She's a balloon of flesh.
Yeah.
With her head just barely, just her face basically.
It's just her face. Yeah, it's just like flesh, like her shoulders are gone.
There used to be little indents where her limbs were.
She's just a flesh ball.
Yeah, she's
that
a
is
flesh
huge.
Ball. And she's like, I think there's something wrong with me.
She's like, I didn't want anybody to see me like this. And then she's like, hey, how's my boy doing? You know?
And that's when they say the boy's okay.
The boy's fine.
So I really think this was a choose your own adventure where, like, we got to say we didn't kill that fucking baby.
Sure. So then Bill is like, so what's going on here? And she's like, I'm just so hungry.
Yeah, her whole thing is still, she's so hungry.
So hungry. I never knew anybody could feel this hungry before. And then she asks him to hand her that bit of possum over there that's like rotting and gross.
And one of them just pukes.
Oh, that's the mayor. The mayor runs out the door to vomit. So then her body starts to like move and ripple. And then like, it starts to rip in half. Right
As it ripples, they all go, it's like, stop doing that.
Yeah.
They like, keep trying to warn her to stop moving.
But she can't help herself.
And then,
and then she yells, the little fuckers are tearing me apart. And then her body just like
explodes. Into minute, maybe 40. Welcome to Wormuary.
Yeah.
It is a sea of red tongue-like worms.
Yeah, they are like tongues.
Explode all over the barn.
That's not what I was thinking, but that's cool.
Phallic?
Yeah.
Like dog penises, though.
Yeah. They're like red and pulsating. It is more like dog penises.
Not like mine, but more like dogs.
The lipstick tube.
Exactly. I do. Okay, I'm going to keep my story to myself.
They're very wet, very red, and I only realized in this viewing how good they kind of look when they're moving on things.
Oh,
later.
yeah, no. Again,
they look
the
really
CGI
good.
is really, like, it's simple enough that it ages well.
Yeah. Like, I think at one point I thought the CGI was bad. And now that I watch them, this is good.
No,
this works.
Sometimes when the CGI is just like overly complicated, it does not age well. This is like perfect.
They flatten on flat surfaces. They like, they look.
They're like leeches.
They're disgusting.
Yeah, they're gross. Yeah. So all the worms jump into cops' mouths.
Yeah, they start going directly into mouths.
Yeah, and then they're everywhere. And then Bill yells at everybody to cover their mouths, and then Starla falls down, and then Bill runs to her, and he covers her with his body, and they're both face to face covering their mouths.
And then they're literally like
they're covered. Tsunami of worms just like rolls over them. Yeah. And then they keep going, and they leave the barn.
Yeah,
and
it's like a tide passes.
Yeah, exactly. So then once they're gone, the mayor is outside. He's like, it tried to get in my mouth. Well, what kind of animal wants you to eat it?
What kind of animal wants you to eat it?
So then the worms now are headed towards town.
Yeah, they're going to town. We cut to the family farmhouse.
Yeah, we've made it to that farm where we just met all those girls. And so the older daughter is taking a bath.
So now, the older daughter
down a little bit.
The older daughter is named Kylie.
Yeah.
She's about to become one of the best characters of the movie.
She is.
She's a teenager. She's taking a bath. We're going to have to sexualize her a little bit.
Of course. And mom is having the youngers go to sleep, the younger two girls.
Because tomorrow is family fun day.
Yeah, but everybody's windows are open. In this house.
Well, it's farmhouse.
I know.
Now, if I had a bunch of fucking cops doing a manhunt outside on my farm, maybe I would lock up and close the windows on this night.
Should we have air conditioning?
Maybe I don't care. I don't know.
Okay. But anyway, so the worms are getting in through the windows, slowly.
Yeah.
And now a worm has gotten into Kylie's bathtub.
Yeah. So it crawls from the... I'm doing
go ahead and do it.
Look, this is evocative of one of the most famous horror things of all time.
Yeah.
So it crawls through a window, up the side of the bathtub and into the water. She's got headphones on.
And her eyes are closed, yeah.
It's bubbles, so you're not seeing anything, but you see the knees come out. And just like the Freddy Krueger across the water, in between the legs, we have a worm going... Which is way worse because it's half phallic, it looks like a sperm.
It's very, very phallic. It's not half phallic. It's very phallic.
It's very phallic, and it's going between her legs, and she notices.
Freaks. Yeah, she does notice, and she freaks out. So it tries to get into her mouth, but... So we had this scene earlier where she had gotten these Japanese nails or something.
So she got
Korean nails.
This is where earlier I was going to say there's other like quote unquote what they call foreign stuff.
Yeah.
She got her nails done and they have like yokai on them. Like, and her dad's like, that looks like some Pokemon shit. And she says foreigners are more sophisticated. Is what this teenager says. That is all set up for this worm getting into her mouth, and she's able to use those nails to
pull it out.
Chunk down on it.
But before she's able to pull this out, her and the worm connect in the brain.
This is another cool thing.
And she has she is able to see the history of this creature and how it took over other worlds and how it works, how it connects. And then it goes from that history into Grant and what's going on in the movie. And so she gets all of that as well. She's like part of this hive mind.
So
this is how we know it's a hive mind.
It shows like they're not other humanoid people. This other planet is like a rodent thing.
Yeah.
And it assimilated all of them and turned them into a mass of shit
it
together.
like eats them all together. Yeah.
And if this was the only thing they did, I get it.
Yeah.
But then they have to keep explaining this.
So then she pulls this worm out, and then she crawls naked across the floor. We do see her tits.
I didn't.
Oh, you do when she's struggling out of the bathtub. Okay, you see nipple and everything.
I was not.
Looking closely
young girl
enough.
was underage in my mind, so I don't see it.
Good for you. Anyways, so she grabs a conveniently turned on curling iron.
Sure.
And basically burns the worm into bits.
Which is supposed to show you how fast fire hurts these things.
Sure.
Which doesn't really come up. I mean, it kind of does.
It does, but yeah.
Fire hurts everything.
Yeah.
It's like
but it's not like Night of the Creeps where they get a flamethrower. That doesn't happen.
Again, Night of the Creeps. Man, there's so much Night of the Creeps in this fucking thing. And it's also like the whole like stab a vampire in the heart. I'm like, you could also stab almost everything in the heart. Yeah. That'll probably work.
So she goes yelling for her mother, but her mother's already been taken over.
This is cool looking, though. Yeah. When she runs out, she's like, Mom. And it seems like her mom's running into frame for her call, but her mom pukes blood on her face
she does.
when she gets
all over her face. Yeah.
This is why Kylie's a great character. This scene is rough.
Right. So then she goes to help the little girls, but the door is locked. So she grabs like a statue and she starts breaking down the door to go help the younger
worms
sisters.
are all coming.
They're everywhere. The stairs. But then she gets in there and both girls are already been taking over.
These girls are like 8 and they're like spasming on the floor.
Right. So she's like surrounded and she sees the open window.
Yes.
And somewhere she's put clothes on.
Yeah, she shouldn't have jeans on, but she has.
She has clothes on. So
like she got the shirt in the bathroom, but she really should be naked.
She should be naked.
Other than that shirt, but she has jeans.
Anyways, so she has clothes on. So she goes out the window and onto like the covered porch, the flat porch roof. Right. She goes out the window and she's looking around and down, and the worms are everywhere. They're coming up onto there.
She runs to one side and the worms come up. She runs to the other side and the worms come up.
So she jumps off. Onto the ground.
12 feet to the ground. It looks like
and then she sees the truck and she runs to her dad's truck. She gets in, but there's no keys.
No keys.
And of course she's terrified and she's sobbing the entire time.
Yeah.
And then the worms.
And when she was on the ground, she watched her own father come out spasming and falling to the ground.
So her whole family's gone. So now she got in the truck and the worms like converge and cover the entire truck.
This is one of my favorite scenes in the movie where she's terrified in the truck and we're watching the shadows of the worms slowly block out all of the light.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Okay, so back at the barn. Bill is trying to reach the police station for help, but nobody's answering, and he thinks Shelby's just on break, and he's using a radio, so he should be able to get through. So he decides to go back towards his car so he can get a cell phone signal so he can call for paramedics. So he leaves them. He goes alone.
He tells the others to get the bodies out of the stink-ass barn.
Yeah. And so they start pulling them out because they're not dead. They're still alive, but they're just out. Okay?
Sure. I don't know.
I wrote a weird note here where the mayor is such a douchebag. He must have said something horrible here.
I have skipped most of the mayor's homophobic rants throughout this, so we could just...
Yeah. Okay, so Starla is getting water. She's like squeezing water out of a rag into people's mouths, so she's getting more water. And one of the bodies just sits up. It's Wally.
Are we skipping? I know it jumps back and forth. Are we going to do the deer thing?
The deer. Oh, with the cop. No, I hadn't. So I didn't do the deer thing.
Real quick, Bill runs into the woods and he's on his way for the cell phone thing and he notices a deer and it turns to look at him, and then the worms crawl up the back of the deer and get into the deer. So that's just seeding stuff to come.
Sure, I just didn't bother. Okay, so Wally the cop sits up and he starts talking to Starla, and he's talking to her like he's Grant.
Yeah.
And so this is, again, cementing this is a hive mind.
Right.
So the woman cop and the mayor now are coming outside with another body, and Wally/Grant get startled, and then the other bodies start to get up. So now all of them are waking up. Now back at the farm.
And they're all pretty much admonishing Starla for being
They are. We'll get there.
Yeah, okay.
Back at the farm, the daughter is Kylie. She's in the truck, and the family is now all zombified, and they're coming out, and they're trying to talk to her to get her out of the truck. And the worm-infected cops go after the woman cop, Margaret, and they're calling her meat because they had all sat up. And Starla starts threatening to shoot, and so she picks up a gun and she starts threatening to shoot if they don't leave her alone. And the Grant hive mind starts talking back to her, telling her she's picking the sides without finding out all the information. Right. And one of them then spits yellow acid stuff at Margaret, and she goes down. So, and like her neck like swells under this acid.
So this is a hat on a hat that we don't need. Suddenly these things are spitting acid.
Yeah.
They do it like 5 times total in the movie, and it doesn't add anything. And I'm like, I don't know why they need to be spitting acid.
They did not need to be, yeah.
Because this is something that needs to be produced inside of a human body that this parasite's taken over. There's no sac inside of us that's able to. So much of this can be just like pared down a little bit.
Sure.
Anyway.
So Starla then doubles down on the threats to these Grant-possessed cops. And they angrily tell Starla she doesn't have the balls to shoot, that she's always needed him to protect her.
And then she just
shoots Wally in the head.
Fucking head off of Wally.
Yeah, and the worm escapes.
This is another thing. The head explosion looks great. It's half of his skull's off, and then the worm squeals and is yanking itself out of the meat. And then as it jumps out, the body collapses.
Yeah.
Again, looks great.
Yeah. So then the others go after Starla and the mayor. So
because
they already got
suddenly
Martha.
There's no more shells in the shotgun.
Yeah.
She throws down the shotgun, and Starla and the mayor run.
They run. Back at the farm, the parents are escalating. Dad's gotten a rock, and he starts smashing the windshield. Right. But then Bill shows up, and he asks, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Because Bill doesn't realize that these guys are
he has no idea. Yeah, no.
And the family's going from baby, why are you doing that, to being like really insulting to her, and why, you're gonna fuck up family fun day. And the two little sisters are just being like bloody-eyed creep shows.
They are
being
so
like,
creepy.
You're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's kind of fun.
So then Kylie jumps out of the truck and she gets to Bill and she tells him that they're trying to trick him and the worms are in their brains. And so then Bill gets hit with a shovel from behind by some other guy from one of the neighbors infected.
It's the cleft palate guy.
Okay.
There's a couple comments about it. It doesn't add up.
That guy then yells, Starla is my woman, you prick.
Yeah. So another kind of fun thing about the movie is we're getting increasingly giant hordes of town people.
Yeah.
And they're all yelling Starla and yelling things about Starla in different voices.
Yeah.
And it's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, it's very terrifying, especially if you're Starla.
A whole crowd of people speaking with one man's ideas sucks.
Yeah.
You don't want a terrible man to be 20 people.
No, you do not. So then Bill shoots that guy who's attacking him in the foot, and he gets away. He and Carly run away, and they get to the whole. You can see as they're running away, the entire neighborhood is just like
there's a lot
coming.
Of
there's all bodies everywhere, and so they get towards the cop car, but one of the little girls spits acid at them, but they manage to avoid it. Starla and Jack are now also running through the woods trying to escape. Bill and Kylie get into the cop car, and
we have a convergence here.
And there's more acid, but it doesn't eat the car, so it only eats biological material.
Sure, that's fine. That's fine with me.
Yeah. So Bill sees Starla and Jack run across the street being chased by his own deputies, and he's like, what the fuck is going on?
He's slowly getting on board. This basically ends with
Jack falls down.
Yeah,
and he almost gets attacked by one of Bill's deputies.
His legs are tied up somehow by fencing.
Exactly. And then Bill then runs. He starts his car and he hits the deputy. And then Starla picks up a convenient signpost.
It's a signpost and just goes barbarian on it.
And they're all watching her.
Well, they're all watching. Yeah. It's supposed to be kind of funny. And
she's like at the end, she does that thing where like she murders something and then like the girl kicks it at the end.
Yeah.
Like, ha! I win.
The movie has now gone.
It was very much a female trope that people use all the time.
Yeah, and while people go, oh, I'm shocked that someone would defend themselves, a lot of the movie from here on out is like, quips that don't land.
Yeah.
Really, all of this is to get the four together. We've got the four characters, Kylie, Bill, Starla, and Mayor Jack into the cop car, and they're driving.
Right. And like all the zombies are yelling in Grant's voice as they drive away. So then Bill calls Shelby at the station, and it's Pam from The Office is what I wrote.
Well, we've seen her already once.
Yeah. He asks her if she's seen any slugs, and she says no. And then he tells her that
she has her hair piled high.
I know, it's so great.
She's chewing gum.
It's so great.
I'm just setting a scene right now.
Okay, you do it.
Well, and he's like, I need you to call the CDC because stuff's going on here. And she goes, and then Bill goes, are you nodding? And she goes, oh, yeah, sorry. And it's all over the radio. And it's my first, real laugh.
It was really funny. Yeah. So after she hangs up and she starts looking through the phone book for the CDC.
Blood drips down on the phone book.
Yep. And the ceiling is full of worms. And she screams. Back at the cop car, Jack throws a giant fib because there's no Mr. Pibb.
Again, he's not funny anymore. He's just a screaming piece of shit that I would have kicked out of the car.
Yes. Kylie then tells how it was part of her for a time and how it was Mr. Grant, but it wasn't always Mr. Grant. It came from space. His real face looks like a needle.
I love that you put that.
But he's always got another. He goes from place to place, worlds, planets, killing them. Some he gets pregnant, others he just takes over with his worms, and the rest he eats till they're gone. And now he's here.
Awesome. My note is Kylie explains the movie again.
I wrote it verbatim.
I do love, I didn't write, and I was going to go back and didn't, that his true face looks like a needle is a cool little idea.
Yeah. Okay, so they get into the city limits, and he calls Shelby to see if she's got the CDC on the phone, and she answers, welcome back, killer, because...
It's Grant.
Grant always calls people killer.
Yeah.
Well, at least he calls
Bill
killer. Yeah. So she's been taken over, and she tells him they have a surprise for him. And then he gets sideswiped by a truck.
Right. So
and they all get knocked out. Everybody in the car.
This is immediately incredibly fun, and I want a movie like this where you're running around from a hive mind. This is kind of one of the first times that I'm like, oh no, someone can give you shit because we're 3 blocks away and about to hit you.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's like, I got a surprise for you. And that's when the car hits because they're all the same.
It's
pretty frightening, and it's not really utilized very well in this.
It's enough. I mean, there's a lot going on in this movie. So, if you did that, then you would have to have a different movie.
I'm saying have a different movie.
Okay. When Bill wakes up, the infected are removing Starla from the car.
Yeah.
And the others get into the cop car. They're all coming into the cop car, calling them meat. Yeah. And
so Bill gets Kylie out of his side. He gets Kylie
out of the car. They took Starla, and he can't get to Jack.
Now, Starla is being brought up almost like a...
concert?
Riding a concert, venerated.
Crowd surfing.
The mayor gets dragged out.
Yes. He gets dragged out because he's meat.
So now we're with Bill.
Kylie and Bill sneak away, and they watch the town get taken over because the worms beat them there.
Right.
He asks Kylie if he gets a grenade out of the station and uses it to destroy Grant, will the whole system be destroyed? And she's like, maybe.
Which I hate. Yeah. So they just figured out how to do the movie.
Yeah, of course.
It's like if we kill Grant with a grenade, with a convenient grenade.
It's like if I kill Dracula, will all the vampires turn back to human?
Yeah, it's Lost Boys rules at this point. Yeah. So, yeah.
But Lost Boys rules is only if they haven't eaten yet.
I'm just talking about Master Vampire.
Okay.
And I see what you're saying. No, because David's eaten and he turns back.
No, he didn't eat yet.
No, that's Michael. David, Kiefer Sutherland, his face turns back even though he's dead at that point.
They broke their own rules then because I
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in death they all turn back?
Okay, we need to watch that movie.
Let's just do the Lost. Wormuary is canceled. We're doing the Lost.
Wormuary is not canceled. Okay, so Bill sneaks into the station with a rock as his weapon, and the station appears to be abandoned.
The rock is another thing that I think is a deleted scene, because they make sure to show him to pick up this rock.
Yeah, and
he carries it into the police station. He's got a revolver, doesn't he? He
gave it to Kylie.
Oh, that's right.
He gave it to Kylie.
No, he hasn't yet, because he gets that in the station. Anyway,
so he has no gun. Okay. I don't know.
The rock just goes away. I don't know why you take time. I thought he was going to use it to break the glass of the station, but the door's open. Eventually, the rock just goes away.
Right. Okay,
I don't know why I'm mad about the rock. I'm sorry.
So he's in the station. It appears to be empty, but we, as the audience, see shuffling, and we know there's something there with him. So he tries to call out on the radio, but it's dead.
Don't know why. Clearly the power's gone.
Yeah, except for there's lights.
There's emergency.
He turned on a light. He turned on a lamp.
Whatever. I don't think so.
Okay, so then we see what is in there with him, and it's the infected deer.
It's the deer.
It's the deer that wasn't infected, but
this
is now
another
infected.
very Evil Dead inspired scene.
It is.
Where a very zombie deer just starts beating the shit out of him.
It's pretty silly.
It's super silly.
It's so
but it's silly in Evil Dead too.
Yeah, and Kylie from across the street sees there's a wrestling match, so she decides to go save Bill. And so she gets into the station and she bashes its head in with a fire extinguisher.
Right, not a rock. It would be cool if she used a rock that brought in.
So then Bill tells Kylie he will tell people that he saved her if they ever get out of here alive.
This is such an underlining thing to me where I have to be like, what are we doing? Why do am I supposed to like Bill? Because Bill, not only as a quip goes, don't worry, when this all turns around, I will lie and say I saved you instead. He literally does that at the end of the movie.
I feel like it's supposed to be charming.
I find it not charming.
It's marginally charming, only because it's Nathan Fillion.
I think all my Fillion cred has gone out the window. Firefly is so far away, folks.
So he gets the grenade, and they go out of the police station. But he's like, well, the deer has seen us, so once one has seen us, they've all seen us.
So now, yeah.
Then we flash to a bunch of townspeople infected, putting Starla into bed and brushing her hair and changing her clothes like she's a goddess.
Yeah, they're cleansing her. They're prepping her.
Yeah. And then Bill and Kylie watch a group of the infected drag a guy who's not infected and then spit a bunch of the acid on him and then probably tenderizing him to eat him for later.
Exactly. I mean, so again, this movie's doing a lot of things. It doesn't have to have the acid thing to feed on them because also the acolytes are falling now onto...
We'll get there.
Right now, this scene. When Starla wakes up...
We're not there yet.
We're pretty close.
Or, yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Well, so they're dragging the bodies due north. Do you think if we follow it, we'll find where Starla is? And she's like, well, you really like Mrs. Grant, don't you? To Bill.
Which no one need. That wasn't needed in the movie.
I know. Because she's like, instead of saving ourselves, why are we trying to save Starla? I think that is the question.
But he's also a cop. He wants to save people that are still alive.
Sure.
I mean, sorry. He's a Hollywood version of a cop where ostensibly they have a oath where they protect humans over property, which is fiction. Sorry.
Okay. At Starla's house, she's been cleaned up and put in her lingerie, and she wakes up, and the windows are all boarded up, and we hear people yelling for Starla to stop fooling around and come downstairs in Grant's voice. Not like in his Grant voice, but his
different
inflection.
Voices, but
it's his inflection.
It's Grant speaking through multiple voices.
Then Jack wakes up, and we hear the sounds of eating.
Yeah. He's in the dark. He finally gets his lighter to light, and he's surrounded by feeders.
With the people with distended bellies,
but they're all also Grant.
They are also Grant, and then they yell at him like, "Don't judge me. You have no idea what it's like to be this hungry." And he's just disgusted.
And this is a weird line that I wrote where Grant starts running out of this basement, chased by this old woman speaking with Grant. It's like, I'm going to get all you Republicans out of this town, all you fucking Republicans. And I'm like, I'm not sure if I understand the same version of a Republican at this. I don't know.
I feel like God only knows, man.
No, and I'm not saying anything political other than I wonder what 2006 was like.
Oh my God.
Because it was so far away.
Only we had been there.
We were there. We were all old enough to vote in 2006, right? No? This is
exactly the weird space of movies in my brain where I don't know how to feel about anything.
Right, because you're 10 years younger than Michael. You still had 2 more years? Oh my God, you made me feel old.
Well, in 2006?
No, you were just barely 18, right?
Depending on what time of the year it was.
Right.
I was either 17 or 18.
Shit.
So Jack gets to the top of the steps.
Yeah, okay. He's at the top of the stairs.
And gets OG Grant's actual giant...
prong wormy things. And Grant usually has in his tummy to impregnate and stab him.
But they're way bigger now.
They're so big. And they basically start to impregnate him. And then Starla's trying to get through the boarded windows, but she can't. Then she notices her antique hairbrush and has a pointy end on the end.
It's like a silver...
It's a silver hairbrush, yeah. So she pulls off the bristles off of the... Because those silver things, you could replace the bristle part. And so she takes it out, and then she slides it into her panties. And then she goes down the stairs because they keep calling for her. And then as she's going down the stairs, we see a tentacle turn on the fucking song again.
Yep.
What was that song?
Only Woman in the World by Air Supply.
Yeah, it's bad.
Or, sorry, Every Woman in the World.
Okay.
I think I
You're
said it
every
the first
woman
time.
in the world to me.
It sucks. It's a fucking bad song.
So then Bill and Kylie are sneaking through the town. And Jack is dealing with his hunger because now he's been infected. All he wants to do is eat. And
right.
he's having to come to terms
This is kind of a fun little
humans.
scene where he wakes up and he's sitting down there. You assumed he was dead, but he's alive, and he looks around all this rotting meat, and there's a corpse in front of him, and he just crawls up and reluctantly takes his arm.
Starts eating and crying.
Sighs and starts to eat as he cries, and I'm like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was really good. Starla's she's coming down the stairs, and she finds the house is like papered with photos of her.
Yeah, it's a weird collage of their
everywhere.
Their life together.
She gets into the dining room, and Grant is this giant tentacle monster that has grown into the walls.
Into the walls, yeah.
And like it is insane.
His ass is out,
he's
out
also
the wall.
begun to absorb other people.
Yeah, this is the other thing.
Yeah.
There are half-living humans that are half melted into his side, and they all still speak.
They are all still alive as they're being eaten by his own flesh.
In a moment, see one take off their clothes and belly flop into the side of his...
I was going to do that.
No. I want to do it, so I'm doing it.
It's not there yet. Okay.
We're
he starts yelling, "You said for better or for worse, whore. You lied. Slut. Whore."
That's the other thing. Like, these guys go from fucking to 11 so fast.
They do.
Calling people sluts and whores in this.
They do. Bill and Kylie have now gotten to Starla's house, and they see people dragging the bodies in as feeders for the breeders. And then they see the pulsating flesh blob that is Grant. And they see a man take off his fucking robe and join the flesh blob.
There's subtle CGI here that looks so good because it's a static. And he's kind of like humping it a little bit, and then his lips stick to it and pull.
It's so
and you
gross.
can just see that it's just like assimilating his skin into
his DNA
skin.
is just immediately melting.
It's like stem cells like de-differentiating and becoming like a different DNA, like a
flesh blob. So Starla then apologizes to Grant and said she thought he was trying to kill her, and that she needs time to adjust.
She does what this character always did, is apologize when this guy's being an asshole to her.
Yeah, always. She then talks to him about how lonely he is and how much he likes being called Grant, and how...
Because now she's talking
to the alien.
The alien.
Yeah, and she could do that for him. And all the time she's pulling that hairbrush out of her panties. And she gets real close, almost about to kiss. And as she's like making this alien feel needed. And then she stabs him in the neck twice, and he tosses her across the room with his tentacle.
Yeah.
And then Bill and Kylie are spotted outside the house by the other people, and they're attacked, but they make it inside. And Jack is on his knees right inside the door. Somehow he got back upstairs, whatever.
I think Mayor Jack really needs to go away from this movie.
Well, he does. He begs Jack to kill him, and Bill just goes, boop, pop.
I'm mad that I stepped on that. That is the second time I actually laughed in this, where as they're coming in, Jack is all, he's like, kill me, please. And Bill just like, boom, and doesn't blink.
He doesn't blink. He
doesn't
just kills
care
him.
and walks past him further into the scene.
So then Grant is yelling at Starla, well, you pulled a con. I've been around for 1,000,000 years, and you think you could fuck with me. Yeah, and then Bill walks in with the grenade, raised in his hand.
Has a hero moment.
Yep.
And goes, yep. And then immediately gets swatted out.
Yep. And the tentacle knocks him out. Yeah, and the grenade flies across the room.
So the hero moment is immediately dissolved.
And then Bill and Kylie run across the room to find the grenade, and then the Grant monster is like screaming, and the grenade falls into the pool.
Well,
and
what
then it explodes.
Was Billy finally grabs a grenade again, stands up, and the tentacle takes Billy's entire body, knocks him through the window into a barbecue.
Right. And then the grenade
falls into the water and goes,
yeah,
like it just is a little...
It's a little grenade, yeah.
So fuck that grenade.
So now the entire town is coming across the lawn.
Yeah.
They're all streaming towards the house.
I mean, this is a movie I want to watch.
Sure. And Grant throws a couch at Kylie, so she's out of the movie.
So Kylie's out of the movie.
And then the tentacle prongs are now coming out, and they're crossing the room towards Bill.
So fucking stupid.
It is.
I hate this ending.
One of the tentacle prongs stabs him in the torso and starts pumping. But the other one he catches. And he grabs a tank of propane. And he sticks the hollow needle end of the tentacle
from the barbecue pit that he's knocked over. Yeah. There's a propane tank that's broken and spewing gas.
Yeah, and he shoves the needle in there.
He somehow manages to get the tip of the spewing propane into the tip of this hollow fang. To what the fuck? Okay, number one, these tentacles don't make any sense in that. Okay, you put them in and eggs go in. I get that, but for whatever reason, one's an intake and one's an outtake.
One is eggs and one is sperm. It's an
okay.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
you're right. I guess there is a bunch of cum dripping out of them later.
Well, and she says you have to have both to get impregnated.
I get that, but why would if you put gas into it, would it go in? It doesn't matter.
Gas has more force than his own body. It goes back up the tube.
Do work for the movie. We always do work for these movies. So Grant, alien big meat Grant,
drags his tentacles back towards himself.
Yeah, he's like, I don't like this gas being in me.
But he drags all of it with him.
He drags Bill and the tentacles back into the room, and you could see like a gas pocket happening in front of him.
And so Bill is like foaming at the mouth, and he's yelling at Starla to shoot Grant. And
with, again, an added detail. That there is a broken light fixture above Grant this whole time that's raining sparks somewhat regularly down. Because you need that also for this ending.
Starla is sitting on the floor and she conveniently looks 90 degrees to the left and there's a pistol on the ground.
There's so many things to make this ending better. It's just so convoluted.
So she picks up the gun, the nearby gun, and her and Grant's eyes meet. And you see his humanness for a second.
So I have Star reluctantly, why? Shoots Grant.
Yes.
Why is she reluctant?
And he explodes, and all the townspeople fall over.
She explodes. Everything's blowing up.
He explodes, not she explodes.
Sorry. He explodes in multiple ways across his body, and then all standing zombies collapse.
Yes.
Boop, 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 boop.
So then everything is quiet, and then Kylie pushes herself out of the couch.
She's back.
And Starla goes to see how Bill is, who wakes up and pulls the remaining tentacle out of his body. And Kylie tells that he needed both of those prongs to get all woomby, is the word she used.
Sure.
Not wormy, woomby, which I kind of liked.
Okay.
Then Starla,
Bill says another quip that I didn't bother to write
and Starla
down.
kisses his hand.
And Starla's immediately kissing on him. Starla goes from apologizing to the alien to immediately being in love with this guy again. Yeah. There's no moment of Starla being like,
no. She
awesome.
doesn't get to be a human. So then they get up and they leave the house, and the lawn is covered in bodies. And she's like...
Yeah, it's suddenly daytime, by the way.
She's like, I bet you regret not running off to Hollywood with me now, Bill. And he's like, oh, Starla, I always regretted that.
Sure.
And then Bill talks about going to the next town to go to the hospital, and then asks Kylie to tell Miss Starla about how he saved her from the deer. And she's like, oh, yeah. He saved me from a deer.
He saved me from a deer. So he actually does that.
He does that, and that's the end of the fucking movie.
Nope, it's not.
What happens? Did I miss an after credit scene?
There is an after credit scene.
I was so over this movie. I didn't do it.
I've watched this movie maybe 4 times. Maybe last night was 5. No. I've never bothered to go to the end. And
I didn't even look.
Literally last night I was like, I'm scrubbing the end just to make sure. I was like, son of a fucking
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I've seen this movie like 7 times.
Yeah. And I honestly think he did this because of Night of the Creeps.
Okay, tell me.
Because remember, Night of the Creeps doesn't have a stinger, but it has an alternate ending that only came out later once the DVD happened, which was a happy ending. And the ending that we know is that Thrill Me Detective is charred corpse falls down in front of the whatever.
Right.
And this one it's on the carnage floor. It is what has to be Grant's brain matter is sitting there because it's a brain. And the little needle guy comes out of it. And there's a random ass cat that walks in and is sniffing stuff.
It's just like Night of the Creeps. Keep going.
Because it's a dog.
Yeah, it's
in
a
Night
dog.
Of the Creeps.
Yeah.
The random ass needle goes... And it goes black and you hear a yow. And then another title card of Slither comes up.
Wow.
Don't worry, we'll never have a sequel to Slither.
Fuck no.
So that was Slither.
That was Slither.
What do you think, Lindsay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Walking into this movie, I remembered really enjoying this movie. Mm-hmm. And if I take this movie and I pull out all of the parts that amused me, I liked this movie. But then when I have to do this through what we call podcast eyes, this movie is too fucking long.
100%.
It is 90 7-minute movie.
It's an hour and 35 minutes.
Oh my God. It is so much going on.
Which
it's
is normally not too long.
It's not normally
when it is
too long.
It is too long.
This could have been a short story in a
I feel like in order to fix this movie, you have to rewrite this movie. And you have to let go of some things. Starla's never allowed to be a character, and ostensibly she's the main character. Yeah. She's the most focused on. I think it just completely falls flat to me because during this time, I had followed James Gunn.
Michael, at the end, nobody's really a character other than Michael Rooker. Like, who else has any kind of arc?
No, that's why I agree with that.
Like,
completely.
Seriously. He's the only one with an arc, and it's not a good one, but it's still fucking arc.
I don't even think that's...
I mean,
I don't think...
He's an alien.
So I'm trying to figure out how much of this to say. So at the time that this came out, I had followed James Gunn's career in weird ways. He had an album out that he had a band in the 90s.
Didn't know that.
That I really didn't know about. I read his fiction without even knowing him. He has a book called The Toy Collector that I read that I liked a little bit. I knew him as a screenwriter. In the same year, Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed, and Dawn of the Dead, Zack Snyder's the remake of it, were both in the theaters.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. And that, I think, is perfectly encapsulates James Gunn to me. He's constantly on the slider of edgelord bad humor, dicks, shit, homophobic, not erotic, homophobic stuff, and then being super twee and sentimental, and those sliders keep missing in that. Honestly, he made, out of the 5 million Marvel movies are my favorite one,
Guardians.
Where finally the two of the only cum joke in Marvel history and one of the sweetest friends win at the end.
Yeah.
Align.
No, yeah, Guardians.
And then, since then, he's gone Superman, maybe nice as being punk rock, while Peacemaker is out going, I guess I just have a cocaine-fueled orgy with an eagle. His slider is all over the place, and then every once in a while, I shoot through both of them and get Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and maybe 2.
Yeah.
This movie, I thought I was going to like when it came out, and every time I watch it, I seriously keep waiting for it to get good, and then the credits roll.
Yeah. This time around, I was like, why did I like this movie when it came out? And it's probably because I feel like it's because I didn't know this type of horror then in this part of my life.
Yeah.
And this was an entry into this entire comedy horror genre for me. And I liked it because it introduced me to this. Because I don't think I had any of it beforehand. Before that, it was all the scary things I didn't want to watch, like Women in Black, the things that scared the shit out of me.
Right.
You know?
I understand that. If you're watching this kind of funny with jokes and then suddenly this body horror gore starts happening, you're probably like, wow, I'm watching
Exactly.
things.
And so I walked away from this movie when it came out liking it. And I had seen it multiple times before we watched it again today. I obviously haven't seen it in over a decade.
I haven't watched it in a long time.
Yeah, a long time. But I did very much hold this movie as something for myself.
It's definitely a Wormuary movie.
It is definitely a Wormuary movie, yes. Tremors is still number one for me.
Do we have a question from John?
How many legs is too many legs?
We have dogs, girl.
Yeah, I would say it greatly depends on whose legs are they.
I like spiders and I like things with... Look, I can appreciate that a millipede has probably too many legs. But I'm not going to say don't have them.
But are we talking about, how many legs for ourselves or just in nature?
Are you asking how many legs in our bed is too many?
What is the actual question here?
All the information I was given was...
All the information is on the task.
John, worms have no legs. Famously, no legs.
Too many legs. Yeah, I was like... Worms, no legs.
In my bed, 4 legs is the max legs.
That's including yours.
You know what? When sleeping, 4 legs are the max legs.
Okay.
When not sleeping, 8, I think. That means one spider can be there alone, or you, me, and the dog can be there together.
I like the math.
That one spider could be there all day as long as we're not home.
I think that when I think about this question, I think that I'm going to think about my own legs, not anybody else's legs.
Sure.
And so, yes, 2 is my max. I can only deal with that many
Also,
legs.
my assumption was how many legs on one entity is.
Well, that's what I thought. But then, it became a bigger question. It was like, is it on any entity? It's like, how many legs is too many on... Because you brought up dogs, you know? So, like...
Yeah, so how many legs is too many
I'm
legs?
not going to say Gotham has too many legs.
I would think that he maybe meant...
How many...
At what point are you, like, creeped out by how many legs there are?
Like, after 4.
I'm starting to think
I'm say more than 4.
I'm starting to think odd number of legs.
Oh,
seems weird.
Yeah, that'd be really weird. But how do you function with an odd number of legs? And who has an odd number of legs?
Maybe that's why nature doesn't have a lot of
a
odd number of
raccoon
legs.
that comes to the house sometimes.
No.
Gets
Like,
snacks.
what animal is born with an odd number of legs?
That's what I'm saying. That's maybe why it's creepy, because in nature it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
Is there?
There isn't.
An animal
Octopuses have
like
8
regularly
arms.
born?
There's 6.
Arms.
There's 8. There's probably
centipedes and
pairs.
millipedes are all even amounts.
Yeah, always pairs.
They're always pairs. There's
One
never
would be a weird
an
vestigial.
odd leg. That's a tail. It's a tail.
You could do. Oh yeah, a tail is like anything that needed more
support
or balance.
It's like a rudder on a
Didn't
boat.
get
Kangaroos
a third leg.
famously
It got
use their
a tail.
tails as kind
Yeah.
of
They
like
do, but
that
it's not a
support.
leg.
I agree with that.
It is a tail.
What's up with that, nature?
I'm gonna say
you're like, you don't get a third leg. We'll just give you a tail.
I don't care about numbers of legs, just no odd number of legs.
No odd number, as long as they're pairs. So the 3-legged dog across the street.
There are potentially
that
a lot
dog's
of
great.
people.
We have a 3-legged dog across. Look, it was born with 4 legs. It has a phantom limb.
It has a phantom limb.
All ghost
ghost limbs are okay.
All ghost legs allowed.
I just realized that this question we've stumbled into, potentially a lot of people could be angry at us at the statement that no odd number of legs, because there's at least a couple people out there.
My dad had one. I literally just covered this shit. Fuck you. I gave justice for phantom limbs.
Ghost limbs count.
Ghost limbs count. Don't come at me.
It has to be like, okay, but like it's possible you're born with an odd number of legs.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a ghost there. For the love of God, people. We're just trying to be funny doing a joke from John.
All number of legs,
All legs
are welcome here.
All legs welcome.
Fuck's sake.
Take us out, Mikey.
You have just been absorbed by another episode of the Creature Popcast. I want to thank our producer, Jamie. She's spitting acid at cherrystreetstudios.com or cherry_street_studios on Instagram. Thank you to Kevin MacLeod for all of our music. All of our art is made by Lindsay and myself. You get our episodes and our merch and a selection of convenient hand grenades at creaturepop.com. Until next time, don't let them in your mouth, John.
Oh, gross, John.